This is my 2018 return to action video. I've gotten enough of those "Are you still alive?" comments that I thought I should respond. Plus I have a bunch of projects that I've been working on and that it would be good to share. What have I been up to? Have I been idle? Well, the main focus since spring 2017, which is the last video that I posted, has been in reviving my professional career. So I have a background in civil engineering, that's my formal one with the paper, but I've actually been working in medical devices for a company that makes surgical tools. And I'm not going to go too into specifics on that, but I've been doing manufacturing and R&D for them, and all of my workshop time here has really paid off. One thing in particular has been my concept I developed that whatever you want is already out there, you just have to figure out what it's called. And one example for that is that I was looking for a pair of pliers to bend a piece of wire in a very specific way for something at work. And it's going to go in the clean room, so it has to be easily cleaned, and it has to be this, and it has to be that. And I was just trying to find a pair of pliers that would be able to do this in one squeeze of the jaws. And what I ended up stumbling across was not some exotic tooling or a place where you get them custom made, but orthodontic pliers. Because orthodontic pliers are designed for bending wires in very specific ways. They're easy to clean, they're stainless, which goes with easy to clean. They just met a lot of the criteria, and sure, they're expensive compared to pliers at a big box store, but compared to getting them custom, they can be very affordable, you know, $50 or $100. So, you know, experiences like that really confirm some of the things that I've learned here. So, you know, time in the workshop, it's maybe a little unofficial looking, a little grungy, multicolored ceiling panels, but it pays off even if you go to an official engineering position. I also ordered yesterday parts for the metal mechanism expanding table. I'm going to be changing the design a little bit to make it easier for people to build at home, require less tools. I'm going to go into that on its own video coming out pretty soon, but it's in progress. I took concrete steps. I've drawn a lot of sketches and thought a lot about it, so it's going to happen. I also have some other projects that I've been working on over this past year and change. Some of them are little things like this, where we have a magnet on the bottom with a high resolution potentiometer, some Hall effect things down here. What's going on with this? Could be interesting. There's some other projects that I've worked on that I will jump to right now. This is the project which has consumed by far the biggest proportion of my time over the last year and change. Long story short, it's a measuring tool, and you take this cable and touch it to different points. We have some high resolution encoders in here. We've got some other fun things like remote camera flashes that I'm using to trigger measurements, and all sorts of other fun details that will be covered in a series of videos. But a lot of time into this project, a lot of really good thinking on the engineering end also, and not just in the mechanics of building it. Another fun thing that came up in the course of this measurement tool project was this guy. So I wanted to measure very small cable offsets close to the base of the boom, but having them take place out there. So I could deflect the cable out here. There was a weight on it, constant tension, and I had a high resolution capacitive sensor back here near the shaft. And I have to say that this was the first time I've ever bought a piece of hardware that used the word femto, or the prefix femto in the data sheet. And there were some other ones that that had the atto prefix on there, and I realized that a farad is a pretty large sort of base unit, which is why you have a lot of small prefixes in front of it. But it still was pretty cool, and it made you feel like you were dealing with some more high-spec hardware. So that was fun, and there's some details to get into on this project. On a final note, I'd like to express just a little bit of disappointment that for all the years my videos have been on YouTube and you can see the garage, no one has ever asked me why it says "scare" in big letters across the header.